I was £50,000 in credit card debt and car loan debt. I had credit cards on credit cards on credit cards to pay credit cards. So much to the point that one of my most nervous moments in the week was going down to Sainsbury's, buying something for £1 and asking for 50 quid cash back and praying that it would go through.
Before we get on with this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video.
Whatever area you're in, how far you have to travel to go to London or Peterborough, how long you've been doing this, how many deals you've done, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to give you two choices, and I'm going to ask you to stand up when I give you A or B choice. So you have the two choices here. You've got money, you have a willingness to lend it out. Would you A, lend it to someone who you didn't like and didn't trust, but the deal was good and the security was there? Or B, someone you liked and trusted, but maybe they don't have as much experience? So I'm going to say it again. A, you don't really like them, you don't trust them, but you've got security and the deal looks good. They've got some experience. B, you like them, you trust them, maybe not so experienced. Stand up if you would rather invest with person A. Stand up. You're right. By the way, none of these are right or wrong, by the way. I just want to... Okay. So there's probably 40, 30, not even, people in this room who would lend on a deal and security rather than a trust and like and rapport. Sit down, thank you. Stand up if you are person B. Okay, take a seat. Who doesn't have any legs? Now, I could not plan how that went. That's got to be solid proof that you can raise money and you can do deals from where you start. If that's not good enough proof for you, surely I am good enough proof for you. Because I was £50,000 in credit card debt and car loan debt. I had credit cards on credit cards on credit cards to pay credit cards. So much to the point that one of my most nervous moments in the week was going down to Sainsbury's, buying something for £1 and asking for 50 quid cash back and praying that it would go through. I had a car loan for a car and I sold the car and I still had three and a half years left to pay on the car loan. But I didn't have the card, sold it. Now, a lot of people are even more debt than that now, but with inflation back then, it was a decent amount. And when I met Mark, I had no experience, I'd read no books, I'd bought no properties. Now, it's not for me to say what Mark saw in me, it's for Mark to say. But it might be for you to think what you think Mark saw in me if I had no money, no experience. And whatever you think that Mark saw in me, you have in you. Now, many of you in this room also have credibility and experience, or transmutable credibility and experience in other ventures that you've done, in your other profession. I can honestly say, when it comes to raising money and doing JVs, the technical side of it is important. And by the way, write this down, it's important to stop things going wrong. But actually, it's not the biggest barrier. The biggest barrier is you believing you can do it. And sometimes it's hard to have certainty when you don't have proof. I did a podcast interview with an American influencer called Ed Milet, and I've had as much feedback on that as being one of my best episodes as many I've had. And one of the things people have said over and over is they loved his part when he talked about certainty and belief in yourself. And he said when people say that, selling is about believing in the product, that's not true. Selling is about believing in yourself. It's simple as that. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? But what if you haven't got the proof? So there's two ways to get belief in yourself. Experience and remembering the fact that you've lived 30, 40, 50, 60 years on this planet and you've got a life story and you're worthy of self-belief. And that has to come from you. Now, sometimes when I do things, I have some reservations, some worries, some fears. But I know that if things go wrong, I'll do my best to fix it. I know that about myself. I have too much commitment and accountability to the community. So as long as you know that about yourself, you can go in and get a deal done. Now, if you want to create fair exchange, you go in and you give a little bit more equity away.
If you've enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about property investing professionally, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel.